today we're going to talk about proportional segments between parallel lines. And this is actually probably something that some of you have kind of figured out whether you realize it or not, but it's also a little bit dangerous. All right, so here's how it works. It says if you have parallel lines, so if a line parallel to one side of a triangle passes through two sides, so they're saying if these two lines here are parallel, then it divides the other two sides proportionally. So it divides these two sides proportionally. Okay, and likewise, if it's proportional, then the lines have to be parallel. So what it's saying is A over B is equivalent to C over D. That this portion over this portion is equivalent to this portion over this portion. And again, a lot of you figured this out or you stumbled upon it, but there's kind of a catch you have to watch, and we're going to look at one of those. So let's just start here. All right, we're going to solve for x first because this is what we're talking about. So because we have parallel lines, we have two parallel lines here, then I can just use the sides that are broken up by the parallel lines. So I can do 8 over 16 equals 12 over x. Okay, and I can just cross multiply there, or you can follow the pattern as well. Okay, so I have 8x equals 192. And if I divide by 8, I should have 24. All right, now, which is all great. That's easy, no problem. The trick here is y. Okay, so when we get to y, I know y and 13 are going to have to be compared, right? Because that's the bottom side of the triangle and the bottom side of the triangle. But what you have to remember is because 13 is the bottom of the small triangle and y is the bottom of the big triangle, we have to use the small triangle and the big triangle sides as well. So when I say 13, that's the bottom of the little triangle, I'm going to compare it to the left side of the little triangle. When I say y, that's the bottom of the big triangle, I have to compare it to the entire length of the big triangle. So I have to compare that to 24. Okay, so this is where people get themselves in trouble. They want to do like 13 over y equals 8 over 16, but that's not true because 16 is not an entire side of a triangle, but the 13, the y, and the 8, those are all full sides of triangles. All right, so here again, you can follow the pattern or you can cross multiply either way. You have 8y equals 312, so then y is going to be 39. All right, we're going to do one more like that. Okay, so again, similar setup. We'd have 24 over 8 equals x over 12 because of my parallel lines. Right, we have our parallel lines here. So this is a nice one. So again, I'm just going to follow my pattern. So if 8 to 24 is times 3, then from 12 to x would also have to be times 3. So x is going to be 36. But again, you can set up, or you can cross multiply. Okay, so now this time I want to solve for y, and I know y goes with 64. Okay, so then if I look at the top triangle, what associates with y would be the 24, the left side of the triangle. The left side of the big triangle is going to be 32. So I'll go ahead and cross multiply. So we have 32y equals 1,536. Divide both sides by 32, and I get y equals 48. All right, so the last thing, and this is what most of your homework is going to look like, is you really don't even have to have the triangles. If you have parallel lines, 3 or more parallel lines, it then divides into proportional parts as well. So this is going to set up just like if this was a full triangle. We just have to use the parts between the parallel lines. So 35 over 28 is equivalent to 70 over y. All right, just cross multiply. So we have 35y equals 1,960. Divide by 35, we get y equals 56.